Welcome to this episode of the She Scales podcast and welcome to episode number 50. I am so freaking excited and just mind-blowing that we're here. Episode number 50. Like, incredibly proud of myself. Started this podcast being like, oh, well, I have enough things to talk about. And then here we are, episode 50 later. And I'm like, oh, fucking course. Who were we freaking kidding? And the fact that in 50 episodes, P.S. don't worry, we've got some more guest experts and incredible guest experts to come. But what I'm really, really proud about is that in 50 episodes, there's only actually been so far 2 guest experts. Meaning that 48 episodes of just me talking at you, sharing the sales, sharing the marketing, sharing the mindset, the main character energy, the travel, the good stuff, some of the bad stuff as well, the real honest raw journey that we are on. How freaking incredible. Now, if you've been one of my loyal listeners for a while, you'll know that there was a little gap in between this podcast episode. So apologies to you ladies. It has been the most incredible summer. Now, I'm going to come on to this episode in a second, but just wanted to say here, this summer coming back to the UK, I knew that there was going to be a busy one with hosting 2 of my own events and public speaking at another event. I knew that this was going to be a crazy busy summer. And then so many other things have come to fruition as well with family holiday and all sorts of other things. But so I wanted to thank you for sticking around, and I cannot wait to get back into the regular routine of creating these incredible podcasts for you, because whenever someone reaches out to me, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Insta, I had a comment on a Zoom call the other day with new people that had come into my world who commented and just left that comment on the Zoom call to say, Sarah, really love your podcast. So whether you're new here or whether you've been listening through since episode 1, I'm sending you so much love, freaking love being in your pocket, and I cannot wait to dive into this episode. Alrighty, P.S. Happy 50th episode to me. Now, it's actually 4 years of me being in business, which is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Going from starting out as a brand designer, not really knowing what I'm doing. I mean, does anyone when they start their business? To then 6 months in, having so many people come to me saying your advice has wildly helped me change my business, up level, and has actively helped me make money. So if you go into teaching this, I will be your first client. I was like, oh, all those years in sales have come to something. Look at that. Lol, the naivety. But since then, that was February. What year would it have been? February 21, when I pivoted into sales coaching, but I started in the September. And so here we are now, September 2024. 4 years of starting my online business that has taken me quite literally around the world multiple times, which is absolutely, like, just to say that out loud is absolutely insane. Like, I knew when I booked that first one-way flight to Bali that it was a big risk and I didn't know how it was going to go, but that I'd just book it and see, and I'd do my 2-month visa, and what would be, and if I needed to come back, then I would come back, but I just needed to go and explore. And then from there, extending to 6 months, coming back to the UK to host Main Character Energy the first time, going back to Bali and getting a 2-year visa, coming back for the second summer, hosting Main Character Energy a second time, hosting multiple events, flying to LA for a retreat. Like, that is just absolutely bonkers. And then later on this month, in fact, 2 weeks today, I'll be at another business event, a conference in Florida. So not only did I go to Bali just thinking this would be, I expected to move around a little bit, like Vietnam, Thailand, and all places sort of like fairly close to each other. I never would have imagined 2 trips. I didn't even imagine 1 trip to the USA. So the fact that it's happened twice this year blows my mind, absolutely blows my mind. So if you needed to hear this today, A, start your freaking podcast, but also take that chance on yourself. You do not know the possibilities ahead until you go. I stayed like far longer. I'm going to say staying stuck. I did. I stayed stuck in the UK for far longer than I should have. And actually some of those little things you're going to hear coming into the lessons that we're going to go through. But yes, take that chance on yourself, bet on yourself, back yourself, because you're not going to know what you're capable of until you take that step. But for as long as you choose to stay stuck and waiting to feel ready or waiting for everything to be just so, it's never going to freaking be just so. And I'm talking to you as the one that is activated, that like does back herself. She feels that fire. You're not going to feel that fire for as long as you choose to keep yourself in the cage that you are in. Oosh! I wish someone had given me this advice. I honestly wish that I could reach into me in 2022. In fact, I would go earlier. I'd go back to me in 2021, give me a sharp slap and be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know you're not meant to be here. You know that your heart is in travel. You know you're meant to be abroad. You know you want adventure. You know you want sunshine. So what the fuck are you doing here? You're literally in the wrong place and you're waiting to feel ready and you're waiting to feel happy in an environment that doesn't make you happy. What are you doing? You would think I'd had a coffee, but no. Alrighty, let's get into, if you needed to hear that today, message me. I know that landed for one of you, so message me if that was the kick up the backside you needed. What I wanted to speak about today, given that it's the 50th episode of this podcast and my 4 years in business anniversary, I wanted to share a whole bunch of lessons that I've learned over the years in business. Now, the way I've written these is to my past self. I've put together 25 lessons, things that I wish I could say to my baby business owner self if I could talk to her now. Put together 25 things here. So this might be a short episode, but a very impactful episode. We might talk around those things, but I've got a list of 25 things. And I want to, before we get stuck into this, say, I have written this for me. So there'll be parts of this maybe that you can really, really relate to and it feels like I'm speaking exactly to you. And maybe there's bits that you don't necessarily relate to, but either you can pull things from or pull little anecdotes from, or it might be something that you come back to in the future. This episode will hit different in many different ways. So I'm going to talk to my baby biz owner self and give her 25 things that I wish that I could tell her. So, number 1. First of all, you're going to become someone that you can't even freaking imagine right now. You had a level of confidence in sales, 100%. Like, it was always there. But the business level of confidence that you have is next level. It's like, sheesh. Because you had confidence before coming into this. But there was often times where you were only confident when you were in the shadow of someone else who was more confident. Or you were confident because you had a manager that was higher up and that most of the book or responsibility fell to them. So you had creative play, but you couldn't fuck up too badly. Like, you had your reign, your remit, but you were never fully out on your own. Whereas this level of confidence that you develop in business is a level that you cannot even freaking imagine. You step out of other people's shadows and you step into the freaking light. You freaking create the light. You are the light. Coming to you from the future, like, it's a night and day difference. And I'm going to add another little one here. The people that watch you from the beginning, I knew that this would happen. It's not going to be 25, so I'm just going to put in number 2 here. Number 2, the people that you're bothered about, are they watching? But you show up regardless, just letting you know all the way through. The people that you're bothered about, well, what are they thinking or what are they watching? And the ones that are, and that they're silently lurking and it feels a little bit like, my old colleagues are watching, I wonder what they're thinking. Like, well done to you for carrying on regardless and not letting that affect you. Because all of the people who have watched you from the beginning are your biggest supporters now. You're going to have people not just trying to get you back to work in the company because they can see what a freaking star you are and they know that once you're too far gone, there's no getting you back, which is absolutely correct. But also, they're going to watch you evolve into someone that you never even saw at the company. They're going to watch you turn up and do it again and again and again and again. They're going to watch you put in the reps. They're going to watch you tirelessly and they're going to watch you launch group programs and launch new masterclasses and figure it out and move across the world and get uncomfortable. And those people that you were thinking, oh, they're watching my stories, like how embarrassing, people from work. They will be the people that are recommending you on social media platforms in the future. They will be the ones being like, so proud of you, Sarah. Woo! The tables turn. Number 3 is your CEO character isn't built by the wins. It's built by the fire. I'm just going to let that sink in. Because baby biz owner Sarah, you don't even freaking know what that means yet. So let me tell you, it's not going to be how many people you sign up into your group program. It's not going to be how many lives you changed. It's not going to be when you sold out your masterclass. Like, those things are cute, but that's not where your character is built. Your character, your resilience, the grit that you are built from, that shit is built in the fire, in the furnace. I don't even know what accent that was. It's built when the shit hits the fan. It's built in the moments where you have to back yourself because ain't nobody else backing you. And that's not to say that you don't have people around you, but you are a one-woman army. You are the one that's running this company. The book starts and stops with you. And so when things go wrong, or when there's a challenge, or when there's a roadblock, or when you're scared, or when you're moving far bigger than you ever could have imagined, and you're like, oh my God, I'm right on the edge, and it is fucking terrifying. That is where your CEO character is built. Who you are in that moment, how you choose to move, how you choose to rise in that moment is where your CEO character is built. Not in how many people signed up to your masterclass, or how your last launch went, or your post just popped off. Like, no. Your character is built in who you are when your chips are down, not when your chips are up. That is the stuff. And this is what, you know, when you see people, well, let me just come back into, I'm speaking to baby biz owner Sarah. You're going to see people who seemingly were winning all of the time, and then they'll disappear. And there'll be plenty of these people. People who seem to have it all together and it seems to be win, 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 win. But then they'll disappear after a year, never heard from again. And so this is because when your fire is there and you have to develop into a CEO, and how you move through challenge, how you move through bounced payments, how you move through people ghosting you, or we're going to get into all of these things, how you move through those moments is far more testament to who you're going to become and the self-resilience and your ability to run a company than your cute little wins and posts on social media. So that was number 3. Number 4, growing a business is going to teach you far more about human psychology than your A-levels or degree ever did. And I know you freaking loved your A-levels and degree. So you're going to learn far more about yourself than you ever have, which is really freaking exciting. And you're going to build a crazy level of self-trust, independence, resilience, and determination. This business is going to show you, it's going to hold up a mirror to you. Early on in your journey, you read something that says, business is, what was the thing that it was something about, if you start a business, it's the closest thing to a self-therapy session you're ever going to discover. And this is the truth, because you're going to find out so much about yourself, both what we were just talking about who you are when you're winning and who you are when you're not winning, and that self-character and that determination and resilience, but also who you are in the quiet moments, in between the loud moments, who you are when you're in a crowd versus who you are when you're on your own, who you are when you're on the other side of the world versus who you are when you're at home, but you may as well be the other side of the world, who you are when you feel distance to the people that you feel closest to. Whoosh. Oh, there's so many different ways you can go from here. Sending you love, baby biz owner Sarah. This business journey is going to teach you so much about human psychology. All those things that you learned in sales psychology and the fascination that you have with different personality types and how people think the way that they do and why people think the way that they do and how people make decisions or choose not to make decisions, how people lead themselves forward or keep themselves stuck, how people will buy, pay in full or say, no, I'm not ready yet and cost themselves 2 years. Like all of this, it's such an interesting experiment in human psychology. Fascinating. And you're going to love, love, love this, because every new day in business is an opportunity to grow. It's not some certificate that you do 90 days and get a tick box at the end and it's like bing, bang, bosh, done. This is an ever-evolving human psychology experiment. And we're just at the tip of the iceberg. This whole industry is going to continue to blow up and you are at the forefront of it. Go Queen. Number 5. I'm going to say it's number 5 because I know we fucked up the numbers fairly early into this, but there we go. Number 5. Ignore what other people are doing. Ignore what other people are doing. A lot of people will talk a good talk. A good amount of those people won't be around in 1 to 2 years. Stay focused on you. Keep your blinkers on. Keep your blinkers on. What other people are doing is none of your business. Because if you're too busy looking around at what other people are doing and letting yourself get distracted by either other people's content or wins or journeys or whatever, you're not paying attention to your content, your wins and your journey. If you're too busy looking to the side, you're not looking forward where you're going. So, blinkers on, stay true to you, your tracks, you're going, the direction you're going in. What other people are doing is literally none of your business. Head down, crack on, serve your people. Couldn't give a fuck what other people are doing. Serve your community and go all the fuck out. Number 6. You will make some bad investments. You will make some bad investments and it will hurt, but you will learn a lot from it. On the other hand, you will make some great investments and you will thrive and learn even more because of it. There are, in this business game, if you like, in this business journey, there's so much to be learned. And you are either winning or you're learning. That should be a point in itself, but anyway. You're either winning or you're learning. And so whilst there was a couple of not great investments, the value that you took from that, the lessons that you took from that, the experiences that you had that you never wanted to give other people is the reason why you maintain a high bar. All the more to be said for that. Amazing. So I think there's a lot to be learned from bad investments. But just before you go and do those, to be fair, a lot of it, there's certainly an amount of decision making on your part. And no, in fact, do you know what? Do exactly what you did. Do exactly what you did because you are a trust your gut and go. Now, you did trust your gut and you did go. And in that case, it didn't work out, which is absolutely fine. You're not always going to land on your feet every time. That's why you grade your knees. That's why you learn to jump better next time. And you did. So there's plenty to be learned and so much growth that when you find the right investments for you, you're so much more attuned to exactly what you want, the environment you want to be in, the environment that you thrive in, what you look for in a mentor. So much. So moving on to number 7, invest in a mastermind earlier. Good God. You hop around in quite a few short things, which is awesome that you get to try on a lot of different coaches, but ultimately you know the people that activate you and you know the spaces that you get activated by. So stop pissing around in these short-term things when you know that you want a long-term place to grow and thrive. Can't keep just hopping from pot to pot to pot and expect your sunflower to grow quickly. Love that little analogy. So invest in a mastermind earlier. Get around people who are killing it. Be the smallest in the room. If people are killing it and that triggers you, good. There's something to learn from that. Lean in. Oh. Let me know if you needed to hear this today. What was the next one? Well, the next one is, so number 8. All of those years of dancing and performing when you were a kid, they pay off massively. You walk with presence now. You move with intention. People notice that shit. Your body language, your shoulders, how you hold yourself when you're on a live, your intentionality, your eye contact, knowing where to look and when to look, all of that, your presence when you show up online and in person, your confidence when you stand at the front of the room, whoosh, sheesh. So all of those things that you did in the past as a kid that were hobbies, competitive hobbies, granted, but hobbies that you did for fun, now all culminate together in your adult life to give you the level of confidence that you have now. Everything in your life has brought you to where you are now. Number 9, back yourself more. You are wise beyond your years. You are a wise, wise soul. Give yourself more credit and trust your instincts. You didn't get nominated for One to Watch for nothing. Back yourself more. And I want to add here, because you are this crazy, crazy soul. You are wise beyond your years, but you are also childlike, in a wondrous way. You've had multiple people say to you, you have a childlike wonder about the world that most adults lose. And they're absolutely correct. You go about life with this awe, like this surprise and delight about everything. You're very observant, you're present, and it's wonderful. So you are this equal person who is both old and wise, young and excited. And you turn into this beautiful blend. But those two things can only come together blended beautifully when you are looking after yourself in the best way. Because when you're not thriving, you're not able to tap into both of those abilities at the same time. You are both Pocahontas and the Grandma Tree. I freaking love that. I need to watch Mona. I was listening to Disney songs as I was coming down the motorway the other day. For my fellow Disney people, I don't know if this makes you go back and I loved watching Disney movies before going to school. Literally every morning when we're getting ready. And my go-tos were Pocahontas, Beauty and the Beast, A Lion King. Did I say A Lion King? Lion King. Those are definitely the top ones. And so sometimes when I'm driving in the car, and this is why driving the car is such a euphoric experience for me, is that I'll just put on songs that I want to sing to, and I will just sing. And I cannot wait to be king. I have the time of my freaking life driving. So if you needed to hear that, if you listened to Disney as a kid, there's something to be said, and I saw this on TikTok, is that whatever songs you were playing, either when you were little or especially what was in the charts when you were a teenager, it's not just about like that's your guilty pleasure to sing to. It's something to do with how your brain was forming in those years. I'm going to say it's sort of 13 to 19, somewhere around there, definitely the teen years. How your brain, because it's forming into an adult brain, whatever was relevant at that time is especially has extra relevance to you, like a real significance to you, because it was part of shaping who you became as an adult. So the songs that were popular to you then as a teen, it's not just that they give you a little boost when you put them on. It's like it actually releases like all the good endorphins. So there's a little life hack for you. Coming back into this list. So now we're on number 10. Don't be so damn hard on yourself and give yourself grace. You're never going to know all of the answers because you've never been where you're going, and that's a good thing. Do your best with what you have. Then when you know better, do better. And now, for number 11, to counteract that, because I love to give two different angles to the same coin. To counteract that, because I feel like the last one was softly, softly, Sarah, like, don't be so hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's okay. Do the best with what you have. And now I'm going to come in as like the other villainera side to be like, there's a fucking reason why you're hard on yourself. And it's because you know what you're capable of. So get the fuck out there and light up this freaking world. The reason that you are hard on yourself is that you know more than anyone what you are capable of. You know your superpowers. Get the fuck out there and light up the world. Next one is The hardest chapter you will have to endure is when you are either A, not in the right environment, or B, not surrounded by the right people. Those are going to be the hardest times. So it's either your network or your environment that you need to change. The sooner you can do that, the happier you'll be. Which brings me on to the next one. The best chapters you will experience is when you are going all in on the things that light you up. You fill your cup, you work out, you tick things off your bucket list, you dance, you move, you sing, you live. That is when you are having the best time of your life and living every single day. Number 14, when you feel that intuitive pull, move. That's your intuition. That's your inner knowing. That is the little voice that you can't explain, but you know that you know, and it's telling you where to go or how to go, or it's telling you your next move. It's giving you that impulse and it's giving you that sign. You don't have to figure out where the sign came from or how you know what you know. Just freaking go. Number 15. People will tell you, yes, bitch, send me the link, and still not sign up. Other people will sign up to buy from you without ever having spoken to you. Neither one means anything. And furthermore, 16, some people will sign up and you'll never hear from them again. Bizarre. All you can think from this is that some people are addicted to the feeling that investing gives them, but aren't addicted to doing the actual work required. You can only lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink. There's only so much you can do. People will buy for their own reasons. People will either act and move for their own reasons, or they will choose to just disappear into the distance for their own reasons. Neither one is anything on you. Number 17, you will outgrow some people, strategies, and way of thinking. That's okay. More than okay. It's essential for you to evolve. So do. Number 18, your small daily actions are all contributing to the long-term brand that you're building. Every single rep you're putting in, every time you get on Instagram stories, every time you go live, every post, every thing that you do that is visible is putting a pound in the jar of someone that needs to see it, who's one step closer to buying from you because you are so regular and so consistent, you build trust naturally. But on that, given that we know that small daily actions are all contributing to the long-term brand, stop fucking about with real transitions. Stop spending 3 hours getting changed. I know it's lockdown and you've got nothing to do, but girl, come on, time is money. You don't need to change 3 outfits and spend all this time, especially when you're using a Samsung and Instagram's going to delete your reel anyway. No. Stop fucking about with real transitions and spend more time building your network of people. P.S. You should have got on TikTok back in 2020 instead of thinking it was just a fad. It wasn't just a fad. And your friends that did so at the same time ended up getting really big businesses out of it. Number 19. We think. You are a wild woman, a crazy, energetic, passionate, brave, wildly ambitious woman who fearlessly carves out her own path. You are a beam of light. Shine that light like a fucking floodlight. Oh! Number 20. Take note of what kills your creativity, activation, inspiration, and energy. And put that stuff, not in a box, put stuff in place to either stop that shit or move it from out of your level of responsibility. Whatever is killing your creativity, killing your activation, killing your inspiration, killing your energy, can either be cut out altogether, or can you move either your environment or change things within the business to stop whatever it is that is killing that, because it will kill your business if it kills your creativity. Whew. Number 21, because I know we've jumbled up the numbers. So anyway, 21. Ignore the coach who told you not to move to Bali when you wanted to, and instead told you to hold off until you were more ready and try out somewhere closer like Spain first. Listening to this advice will cost you a year, and ultimately you went ahead and did it anyway. You don't need to wait until you're ready. If you're longing for it and dreaming about it, you are already ready. Number 22, zero out of bullshit and zero in on the stuff that activates the shit out of you. Put your blinkers on for 90% of people, because people are talking a lot of BS. So zero out the BS and zero in on the stuff that makes you feel incredible. Number 23, everything in life has led you to where you are now and where you're going. The dance competitions, being president of the Pole Society at uni and growing the membership to be the biggest society at the university, brand champion at the International Events Company, traveling around the world backpacking. It all comes together to make you into a multi-six-figure sales coach who mentors women through her programs, live events, retreats, and whilst traveling the world, dancing and singing and living life in full colour as she goes. It is absolutely nuts, but also now so obvious. Number 24, get around people who dream 100 times bigger than you do. They'll call you out and call you up. They will hold the mirror to where you've been playing small and show you quite how much higher the ceiling is than you can possibly imagine. Get around people who dream far, far bigger than you do and who have achieved far more than you have achieved, because you will start to realise how much more is possible for you. But until you are in those conversations, that just isn't in your sphere of awareness. Your duty is to change your sphere of awareness by changing the conversations that you are in. Number 25, how you imagined it to turn out, it gets way better than that. Far, far, far better. And then lastly, wrapping up, if it doesn't bring you income, inspiration, or orgasms, it doesn't belong in your life. That is a quote from the one and only Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street. Absolutely love. There's also something to be said as a personal note to Baby Coach Sarah, that you're significantly less frequent of the latter of those three things I mentioned 100% heightens your productivity. How hilarious. Those are all the things that I would say to Baby Biz Sarah, and those are just the ones that came off the top of my head when I was crafting this episode. I'm sure there's loads more. But I wanted to share this with you, regardless of where you're at in your journey, whether you're someone that's more towards the beginning, whether you're a few years in, whether you're 4 years in like me, whether you're further ahead. I hope that you took value from this lesson. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that there are things that resonated with you. Maybe there's a bit of a talking to. Maybe there's opportunities in there of where you could be playing bigger. In 2 weeks' time, I will be going, in a week's time, I'll be going out to the US. In 2 weeks' time, I'll be at the biggest in-person conference I've ever been to, which is just going to, again, stretch my sphere of awareness. It's going to absolutely change my circle. I'm going to meet lots of people that I've known for years online, but this will be the first time that we meet in person, and just 100% 360 flip my sphere of awareness. And I can't freaking wait. And 100% in the same way that I have this year, I will continue to actively pursue every single opportunity that I can do to do that. Because I started out in business not knowing any entrepreneurs, knowing that I didn't have a circle, I didn't have business owners in my immediate family. I didn't know anyone who'd got an online business. I knew when people would say, oh, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I knew I didn't know anyone. I knew that was going to be a problem for me. And so it's my duty to change who I know, to massively increase who are the people in my network, to just change my reality. So if you enjoyed this episode, send me a message on Insta, send me a DM or send me a LinkedIn message. Cannot wait to hear from you. And happy 4 years in business anniversary for me. If you enjoyed this, and if you're not already in the She Scales community, our free Telegram group, I'm in there most days, either answering questions, or I'll dip in with a little bit of coaching advice, or if I feel called to speak about something, I'll drop voice notes into there. So if you're not already, come and join us in the She Scales Telegram group. Completely free to join. We've got some incredible women there. So if you're wanting to network with people, meet more people, both from Insta and LinkedIn, be able to share your link. You never know, your ideal client might be in there and your next biz bestie might be in there as well. So I'll drop the link in the show notes underneath here. But in the meantime, I shall see you inside the next episode.